What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to watch the tape of Eric Kendricks, who the Dallas Cowboys picked up recently, and we're going to analyze why I think Kendricks can have a lot of success for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Kendricks is going to come in and play a specific role within the Cowboys defense, and it may not be the role that a lot of Cowboys fans expect. One of the things you'll see with Kendricks is he's very smart. He knows how to attack, and he just knows how to play the game of football. And it's very clear right when you put his tape on. But he is also 32 years old, and that in itself is also very clear when you put the tape on. So when I watch Kendricks, one of the things I noticed right away is he's not very good against the run anymore. Yes, he's still smart. He can still get around blocks. He can definitely get within his run fits between the tackles. But talking sideline to sideline, he just doesn't have that range anymore. Now, with that being stated, I do think Kendricks' biggest asset is his ability to cover. And even though he's 32, he's still a very, very good coverage linebacker. We're going to get into the tape. We're going to analyze all of this. Let's just get right into it. I want to go ahead and get into this play right here first, just to kind of show you guys that Kendricks is a very smart football player. He understands how to attack. He understands what he has to do from a coaching aspect. The guy's a very smart football player. And I think for the Dallas Cowboys, this is one of the things you'll be able to get from Kendricks. For this defense, you're going to get a guy that knows that when the Cowboys ultimately run this fire blitz concept, that he needs to attack this offensive lineman. He needs to make sure to get this guy off balance. This is the point man here within the game. Because if you're able to hit this guy on the side and he doesn't catch what you're doing, that's going to make it impossible for the offensive lineman and the running back to pick up the game. So when Kendricks attacks this guy to the side, he won't have leverage to be able to switch on the game. So even if the running back ultimately picks up Kenneth Murray, in this instance he does pick him up, well, Kendricks attacked properly, so he's able to beat the offensive lineman. It's a small little detail within blitzing, within running games, but it's a detail that Kendricks has clearly perfected. This is what you get on tape with this guy. He's a very, very smart football player. I want to go ahead and just get right into Kendricks' ability to cover. Although he is 32 years old, he's still a very, very good linebacker when it comes to that. The Chargers specifically use Kendricks and his ability to cover. Now, if you guys only look at the raw stats, if you guys go to PFF and look at this guy's receptions, you guys look at his targets, you may say it wasn't that good. But you got to keep in mind, if they're coming out in a dime package, Kendricks is the linebacker that the Chargers are ultimately trusting to come onto the field. He's the linebacker that's playing those dime packages. So that tells you right away what the coaching staff thinks of Kendricks. There's not a lot of linebackers that are good in coverage. Kendricks is one of those guys that over the course of his career has shown that he can cover. So you see him doing a great job here, taking the tight end and forcing an incomplete pass. So one of the things you're going to see oftentimes is Kendricks even lines up over wide receivers. In this instance, he's going to be lined up over McCole Hardman. And this was done because the Chiefs came out in a hurry-up situation. And basically, the Chargers ended up getting caught, right? But the linebacker that ended up covering the wide receiver was Kendricks. Now, this one actually got completed for 14 yards. This was 3rd and 1. But one of the interesting things within this play is, if you guys look at Kendricks, just look at how quickly he reacts, how quickly he's able to stay within the wide receiver. He almost is able to break the pass up. To me, this in itself is very, very, very well done by Kendricks. He's all over it. He's almost able to break the pass up. Yes, it doesn't actually happen. But keep in mind, we're going to watch a ton of plays of this guy in coverage. And this is one of the things you're going to see. He's oftentimes forcing incompletions. And if it's not a forced incompletion, he's right there. And I truly think this was one of the reasons why the Dallas Cowboys wanted this guy, right? He's always right there in coverage. Very, very good coverage linebacker. He reacts well. He reads well. And yes, he is 32 years old, so he's not as athletic as he was, let's say, 6 or 7 years ago, but he's still a very good football player. Here's another one where he's going to force the incompletion. Just a really good job of reacting, being able to get in there and break the pass up. This was zone coverage, so this was not man-to-man coverage. But you'll see that he reacts, and he understands that if the tight end's going to run a route across his face, he understands being in zone coverage that the tight end's going to stop. So one of the things that a lot of wide receivers and tight ends have in the NFL is side-adjusted routes. So if this is man coverage here, the tight end's going to just run this across here and he's going to run a drag. Because he sees the linebacker here, plus he feels the linebacker's not in man coverage, he's going to actually end up just sitting. So Kendricks, being a smart linebacker, understands these two things. So as the linebacker continues to run his route and as the quarterback stares it down, Kendricks reacts to it and he's able to break the pass up. This is a great job right there by Kendricks to get a pass breakup. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. You got another really nice play once again by Kendricks. He's going to get his hand in there. He's going to break the pass up. This one actually counted as a fumble. Makes sense to me. We'll watch it from the end zone angle. Just a really nice job getting his hand in there and basically forcing the incompletion or forcing the fumble. So you're going to see the tight end actually catches the ball high to the left. Great pass by Patrick Mahomes. Now watch Kendricks with the hands. He's going to get the hands in there. He's going to strip the ball out. This is a great job right there. And of course, you're going to see the Chargers do recover this. Just a really, really nice job by Kendricks. Again, very, very smart football player. Age, regardless of age, just a very smart, high processing athlete. Now, another common thing you're going to see from Kendricks is he lines up around the line of scrimmage, and then he oftentimes drops back into coverage. He oftentimes drops deep, and he'll get his hands on these wide receivers. He'll set up in zone coverage underneath, and he does a really good job, right? On this one here, he gets his hands on Renfro, and the pass is incomplete. It's a really, really nice job on this one. On this other one here, you're going to see him once again drop back. On this one, he's going to get his hands initially on the receiver there. He's going to carry the number 2 underneath. And you'll see that the number 2 is going to end up going deep. So he's going to let that go, and he's going to sit down into zone coverage. He kind of sits underneath it. That right there makes it hard for the quarterback to read and react, right? The quarterback doesn't really know where the ball should go. So you see Lamar here. He's going to take the drop back. He's going to try to read the coverage. He's going to look over here to the left. Kendricks is rerouting people. He's getting underneath people. He's dropping off coverage. That's just a really, really nice job by Kendricks. This one is dropped. Lamar obviously is a great quarterback and read it right. But you'll see on tape that Kendricks is trusted in coverage by his coaches. And I think for the Cowboys, that's exactly what he's going to bring. They're going to trust him when he's in coverage. They'll get another really nice play by Kendricks. Watch him drop back into coverage and watch him break the pass up on this one. Just a beautiful, beautiful job to be able to read, to react, and just get the hand in there. So 3rd and 2. And the Dolphins call one of their plays that they run often. And you see Kendricks dropping back here. He's going to get the hand up. He's going to break the pass right there. Just a beautiful job by Kendricks to be able to break the pass up on 3rd and 2. Now, with that being stated, let's go ahead and switch focus and let's get into Kendricks' ability to defend the run. One of the things you'll see with Kendricks is he's not as good against the run anymore. He struggles to get off blocks at times. He struggles to show his power against offensive linemen. And he just doesn't look that good. Now, that doesn't mean he won't make plays, right? You'll see that he's obviously able to get off the block of the center here. Pretty good center. Gets around it, gets in there, makes the play. This one's a really nice job. And there's others where he'll definitely get around the block. He'll be in his run fit. And he gets close to making the play, right? And that's not an issue for Kendricks. He's still smart enough to get around blocks. And you'll see that he's definitely smart enough to read the play. He's smart enough to run towards the play. But I'm going to show you guys some plays where he does struggle to get off blocks. He does struggle to get close. He does struggle to chase people down. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and just get right into this. So the first thing you got to realize with Kendricks is he is getting older, so he's not as fluid within his hips. So you put him out in open space, and he's not great at making tackles. On this play here, you got a backup quarterback in Blaine Gabbert, who in the final week of the season is going to make Kendricks miss out in space. To me, a linebacker should tackle a quarterback like Gabbert 100% of the time. And you can see that on this one, Kendricks ends up missing tackling the quarterback. Now, we're also getting to the point where Kendricks isn't able to effectively get off blocks. This is a great example where he's not able to get off the left tackle's block. You see the running back ends up picking up 15 yards on this one. You got another one here. Once again, Kendricks is not going to be able to read this quick enough, and he's not going to be able to get past the center. The center's a pretty good football player. But again, to me, a linebacker in the NFL that is considered a top-tier linebacker, and I know Kendricks isn't that, but that linebacker would make this play, right? Or at least be able to get around the block. Maybe they read it a little bit faster. So I just want to kind of point these plays out because I think it's fair to fully understand what Kendricks can and cannot do at this point, right? I think it's fair to really analyze this guy and say, hey, can he effectively still get around blocks? Can he get off blocks? Can he make people continuously get around guys and make plays? And at this point, I just don't see that Kendricks is consistently doing that. You got another one once again. He's going to struggle to get off the block. He's going to struggle to make the play. This play right here should be made. And you can see that as he does eventually get off the block, he's just not able to change direction the way he should have been able to as a starting linebacker and just make the play. So when I look at Kendricks, there's definitely pros and cons with his tape. On one end, the guy's very smart. He's great in coverage. He makes plays against the pass. He makes plays even against the run. But then he does have one big struggle at the moment, which is he struggles to get off blocks. He struggles to get through offensive linemen. And I think from a scheme fit perspective, that's going to be a big part of Kendricks. Is he a first and second down linebacker? Is he a linebacker you wanted against the run? Or is he a linebacker that's only going to play maybe 50% of snaps because he's more so in there to pass cover, right? I think for the Dallas Cowboys, you got to really figure out how you're going to handle the linebacker position. Of course, they do have some good young linebackers. Damone Clark has shown some upside. DeMarvin Overshown should be back this season. Plus, you can still draft guys. And, I think ultimately you're going to end up getting a guy like Kendricks who's going to just kind of come in and really just play a specific role, right? There's upside with Kendricks, but you got to understand what that is. You got to understand what type of player he is. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing. And I will see you guys next time with another video.